There's only one movement that will unlock the strength your back actually needs for calisthenics, and that's the front lever. But here's the thing, you don't unlock the front lever by doing 1 or 2 exercises. You unlock it through a whole range of progressions, strategically done at specific stages while you progressively get stronger. And this superhuman skill and its progressions will train every part of your back, from your lats, scapulas, stabilizers, spinal erectors, core, and even your glutes and every part of your arms, from your shoulders, biceps, triceps, forearms, and even your grip. Now, before you say, Chris, I can't even hold the front lever, or this is way too hard for me, stick around, because I'm gonna show you how you can start training for this skill from the very beginning. Even as a complete beginner with no prior fitness knowledge, using scalable progressions that will not only build superhuman back strength, but solid muscle in the shortest amount of time possible. But first, why the front lever? The answer is because this movement trains your back in every way your back needs, with vertical and horizontal pulling power, both with bent and straight arms, and even movements requiring you to provide constant pulling tension to maintain an isometrics hold, or even applying more tension to achieve front lever raises. And these aren't just alternative exercises to build a strong back without weights. They're also the foundation for full body control when it comes to your back, lats, rhomboids, and core, meaning they're not your average gym exercise. The truth is, no amount of gym work will have you unlock the front lever or its variation. Even the most experienced lifter in your gym that's been training for years will not be able to hold the front lever no matter how much weight they can lift without the exercises I'm about to show you. And that's really a testament to how challenging a front lever really is. But once you've mastered the front lever, everything becomes easier, even your gym exercises. Because while you might be training your back with machines and weights at the gym, they lack the total body control that the front lever demands, teaching you how to move your body as a single unit against gravity, and not just flex one muscle at a time, which often doesn't translate to real world strength. So while you can build an impressive physique lifting in the gym, if you skip out on your front lever training, you're missing out on major strength gains, relative strength, and body awareness that only calisthenics can provide. And the most common question I hear is, Chris, when can I start skill training? Or how long do I have to wait until I can start training towards calisthenics skills? And the answer, your very first training session. You can already start unlocking these exercises. Just follow along with me as I go through every single progression in perfect order from the very beginning, and try them for yourself at every stage while using them as steps to move up to the next one. So let's get right into the very first progression that absolutely anyone can start doing right now. The scapula pull-up. These will help you develop the essential shoulder and scapular control you'll need to go from a dead hang to properly lifting your chest up by retracting your scapulas and pulling down with straight arms. This reinforces the straight arm strength and lat activation you'll need to initiate the coming front lever progressions, while also adding full body tension and shoulder stability. And as you build strength with this progression, you can increase the difficulty by incorporating scapular retractions and depressions. Just leaning further back during your scapula pull-up while actively depressing your scapulas and pulling your arms downwards as your chest lifts upwards. This intensifies the engagement in your back and lats while simulating the same engagement to get into a front lever and eventually the front lever hold. And you can even take it a step further by adding an L-sit to the exercise, adding core and hip flexor activation while increasing the resistance on your back and scapular muscles. From here, you'll build the strength to move on to the toes to bar, where you'll develop the lat compression and core strength you'll need for the front lever. But try not to rely too much on your hip flexors, and instead try slightly leaning back and pulling down with straight arms to get your feet to the bar, having you work more of your lats, which you'll need a lot more of in the later progressions. And basically all of these progressions come with a pulling variation, so you can add the toes to bar pull-up now that you can get your feet to the bar. Just lift your feet up and lean back, and as your feet near the bar, use the momentum of your rising lower body to do a pull-up, though it actually resemble more of a row as you pull towards your stomach, trying to touch the bar before resetting back to the hanging starting position. This will build on the dynamic strength you'll need to pull when your body is completely horizontal, while not yet maintaining that horizontal position for the entire pull rep range, which would be a lot harder. But we're definitely building up to that. But for now, we can move on to tuck front lever raises, introducing more of a dynamic pull down that builds the transition strength needed to get into a proper tucked front lever and eventually be able to hold it. Start from a dead hang and bring your knees to your chest and pull down with your straight arms as you lean back, retracting your scapulas until your body is parallel to the ground before controlling your body back down while maintaining the knees tucked position until you've completed your max reps. Training this progression, you'll quickly become comfortable with the fully tucked position that you can begin progressing toward the advanced version by slowly unraveling your knees. In this variation, your knees move away from your chest to create about a 90-degree angle at the hips, or even further if possible, with your feet still tucked in by your glutes. From here, the movement stays the same, lifting yourself into a horizontal hold using your lats and core, then lowering under control back to a dead hang. And yes, these tuck front lever raises also have a pulling variation, the tuck front lever raise pull-up. And after some training using all of these progressions, you should be able to hold the tuck front lever. However, if you're still unable to hold the tuck front lever, that's a sign your lats still lack the needed strength. So you should keep training the tuck front lever raises, placing your biggest focus on mastering the pull down motion that brings your lower body up and locks you in position while retracting your scapulas. In fact, retracting your scapulas is one of the main techniques people miss out on when training for and trying to master this move. When practiced properly, the tucked front lever hold won't be a challenge at all. And from here, you can continue progressing the hold just like you did with the raises. Over time, unraveling your knees slowly into the advanced tucked front lever hold, where your hips are still tucked, but your knees are away from your chest. Holding this position builds even more strength as you resist gravity with more leverage. And now that you can do tucked front lever holds, you can also do tucked front lever retractions, which is one of the key components and techniques that you should be doing at this stage. You cannot spam this exercise enough, as this is the main technique and engagement you need to do throughout your entire front lever journey. With every single progression, you can always do this band assisted as well. In fact, often when people aren't retracting or don't start doing this at an early stage, their front lever suffers because of it, and you can see it when they have a weak lower hip engagement and they struggle to keep a straight line during their front lever holds or any other progressions. But for now, we're going to train it in a tuck position so that we can use the best form while performing the most amount of reps we can, as we work up the progressions that are in a more lengthened position. Similar to the scapular pull-ups, once in a tuck front lever hold, retract your scapulas without dropping your hips. This will help combat the common problem people have of balling up, instead of keeping a straight back, ensuring you never develop bad form from the start. And you'll be ready to add the pull-up variation, doing the tuck front lever pull-ups by maintaining the horizontal tuck shape and pulling the bar towards your waistline. And if you have a resistance band, now's the time to use it, as it will alleviate some of your body weight, making this movement have less resistance to allow you to perform it with better technique and more reps. But if you don't have one, you can pick one up at THENX.com. Start by gripping the ends of each band, then grip the bar one hand at a time with the band between your palm and the bar. From here, make sure it's at your waistline and just above your glutes. And you can use the band to assist with both the advanced tuck variation holds and pull-ups also. You're gonna notice through this entire video that we're gonna be using a static bar to perform the majority of these exercises and progressions. And doing this is actually gonna have you progress way faster, because it's gonna cut out a lot of the wasted strength getting into position. Starting with the static bar, you can already just place yourself in a more efficient position, allowing you to use the most of your strength for the intended movement. So if you do want to expedite this process and train front levers in the comfort of your own home, definitely pick up the THENX half bar at THENX.com. Now, taking the core and lat strength we've built so far, the next step is upside down deadlifts. Start by hanging from the bar and bringing your legs up into a toes to bar again, but then push your hips through your arms while retracting your scapulas back, as you would similarly to a deadlift, having your body now fully extended and inverted. Make sure to keep your legs vertical and straight during the entire movement, and your shins and feet always close to the bar, as this is what will keep your body weight centered and prevent you from dropping back down. This exercise builds strength in the transition phase between inversion and front lever control, which is essential for the later front lever progressions, so don't skip this one. This exercise will also teach you how to keep your alignment when you're in a front lever hold. And now that you can invert your body, you can hold this position for time with the upside down hold. This reinforces your grip strength, endurance, and perfect straight line technique and positioning for your body. Basically, the perfect form for a front lever hold, but in an inverted position. But if you hold this long enough, soon it will translate to holding the front lever horizontally. Now, when first starting off, if you can't hold it for that long, or if you're struggling to hold it at all, you can always do this band assisted as well. Just make sure to get multiple bands so that over time you use a band with less resistance, and that's a method you'll use for every banded exercise. So make sure to get the full resistance band set from THENX.com so you can level yourself up the easiest way possible. And yes, even this upside down hold comes with a pulling variation too, the upside down hold pull up. Another big game changer for your pulling strength, developing more technique and strength over time to eventually pull your entire body weight in the same position horizontally. And that's one of the hardest pulling exercises that you can ever do, the front lever pull-ups. And that's why these progressions are so important to start closing the gap from impossible to possible. Now with ice cream makers, we connect your straight and bent arm strength to the static lever strength through dynamic movement. Start at the top of a pull-up, then lower your body into a front lever position while engaging your hips, like we did with the upside down deadlift and upside down hold, to keep your body in a completely lengthened horizontal position. motion. Pushing the bar away from your body, extending your arms to a locked out position. Pull yourself back into the inverted hang using your lats and scapulas while maintaining that straight line from your head to your toe. This dynamic transition not only builds tremendous back and core strength, but also improves your body control and awareness through the entire lever range of motion. And like with every other progression we've gone through so far, you can also do this with a band as well. Just hook it onto your feet, then grip the bar with your hands shoulder width apart. Remember, once you can perform a progression with perfect technique and very comfortably, you're ready to move on. So diligently train these progressions and the ones below it at this point, and it wouldn't be that hard for you to do the next progression, the half lay front lever raise. You'll maintain the same form as in the advanced tuck front lever, but now you're gonna extend both legs while keeping them bent at the knees. This lengthens your body into an almost complete full length front lever and places more demand on your back and lats compared to the tuck variation. For the half lay, you really need to focus on engaging your glutes as well as your hip, like in the upside down hold or the upside down deadlift, to maintain a straight line from your shoulders, hips to knees. And every time you come up to the horizontal position with the half lay raise, I want you to try to hold it there even for a second. And as you get stronger, try to hold it there longer and longer. Eventually, you'll be able to raise up and just hold the half lay front lever. That's the next progression. And from here, you're already 70 to 80% of the way to holding a full front lever. So now it's time to keep working on increasing your hold time of this further lengthened position. Also, make sure to hold it with varying grips and widths, wide grip, close grip, and even supinated. This will actually make it feel easier when you hold your neutral grip, and you can also use a resistance band to increase your hold time, or if the move overall is just too difficult for you at the moment. And if you want to build the strongest front lever hold in the fastest amount of time, you definitely want to be doing the half lay retraction variation as well. As I said before, this is the best technique you could be training and what the front lever basically demands the most of, along with the hip engagement you get from the upside down deadlift and upside down hold. This is the hardest thing for people to get whenever they're trying to learn the front lever. And oftentimes when they neglect this, it takes them years to unlock the front lever. And in some cases, for some people, they never do. And remember, you can always do these half lay retractions with a resistance band. In fact, if you're doing it for the first time, I'd highly recommend it so you can increase your reps. With the retractions mastered, you can also now start adding the pulling variation, the half lay front lever pull-up. Make sure to train both the hold and pull-up variations to build control and strength through this position, which you'll need to hold a front lever. And also incorporate the band-assisted half lay pull-ups to seamlessly increase your pulling strength here. Remember, this exercise is not easy, so be humble, use the assistance, and over time, reduce the assistance until you don't need any resistance bands. And now we're finally ready to move on to one of my favorite and final steps of achieving a front lever, the front lever negatives. Working off the upside down hold, we're gonna start from the top again with our shoulders retracted, our lower back and hips engaged to keep our body in a super tight straight line. Then we begin to lean back as we slowly drop down while keeping your body as straight and tight as possible, maintaining that perfect technique and straight body position while engaging your lats, core, arms, shoulders, glutes, as well as lower back the entire way down. When you're doing this for the first time, you want to do it with one leg first. Alternate each leg so that you build the strength on both sides. The negative movement mimics the exact activation your lats need to hold a front lever. And remember, you can always use the resistance band for this as well to close the gap if you feel any difficulty at all. And with consistent practice, you'll notice your descent becoming slower and more controlled until eventually you can just pause at a horizontal position and finally hold a front lever with your arms locked out and your body completely straight. But these are the exact order of progressions and the exact same way that I unlocked my own front lever hold. I still remember it to this day. Just a couple sessions of training the negative front lever gave me insane back pulling and front lever strength. And one day I was out there training on the bars, I did a negative so slow, I was able to just stop in that horizontal position, unlocking my official front lever hold, which in my opinion is the best way to first unlock it and get into it as a complete beginner, because coming down in a negative actually forces your body to use the perfect technique to maintain a straight line in your front lever. Many times when people try to raise from the bottom, they end up not engaging properly or using proper technique, resulting in a very bent front lever hold, specifically drooping from their hips and their shoulders. And of course, the front lever hold can also be performed not only with different grips, wide grip, closed grip, and even supinated grip, but you can also use resistance bands and solidify the strength needed for a front lever hold. And because you've been training all the pulling variations throughout the entire front lever journey, you can now get right into the front lever pull-ups, starting from a front lever position and pulling up as high as you can towards your waistline. But you can also start from the top of your waistline, touching the bar and holding that position for time before descending back down. Basically, negative front lever pull-ups. Eventually, training the top and bottom portion of the movement will have you achieve the front lever pull-up. And of course, resistance bands to accelerate the learning curve for this dynamic exercise, increasing your endurance and strength while letting you train past fatigue and adding more volume to your training. And now you know all the progressions to the front lever hold. Keep training them consistently. Follow the progression cues and train the specific progressions at your fitness stage. And over time, you'll build the strength, control, and body awareness needed to master this skill. And if you want this guide completely broken down for you step by step and day by day, using these progressions to ensure that you master the front lever hold in the shortest amount of time possible, all you have to do is download the THENX app in the App Store or Google Play Store for free. Not only will you get full access to our front lever technique guides, but all the other technique guides teaching you the most advanced movements like the muscle up, handstand, full planche, and so much more, with complete step-by-step guides telling you exactly what to do every day. And once you finally master the front lever, or for those of you watching that have already done that, if you want me to make a part 2 to this video of what to do after you can already hold a front lever, or where to take your new front lever skills like adding front lever pull-ups and harder variations, let me know down in the comment section and I'll definitely make that for you with a ton of other progressions and exercises and variations to take your front lever training to a whole nother level. Also, if you have any more questions about the front lever, you can just post it in the THENX app and we'll all be there to help and guide. You just gotta make sure to like this video so I know it's what you guys wanna see, and subscribe with bell notifications on right now so that you never miss out on a video. I post every single Monday, 10 a.m. USA Eastern time. Now I'm gonna go ahead and jump on the THENX app. I have more skill training to go, and I'll see you there. Mad love, peace out, baby.